Good morning, viewers. So, hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend or had a wonderful weekend, depending on what time this video comes out. But yeah, today is going to be another tool review video. So this company sent me a circuit tester, ECT200. It's just basically a power probe. Because Power Probe is a brand, they're not going to copy the Power Probe name. So it's called a circuit tester. I guess we'll start by taking it out of the box. I don't know when's the last time I used a power probe, but nowadays I just use a 7440 light bulb to stick in connectors. But it's got a pretty long wire. We're gonna see how far this thing goes, because if you're working on a van and you got to work at the very back, then you got to run a long enough wire all the way back there from your battery, right? So yeah, this is basically the tool. A warning label, sharp. Don't poke yourself. And it's got a little screen on it. There's this power and then ground. All right, let's go to the car. All right, so we're hooked up to this battery here. We've got a 2002 Honda Odyssey. This thing has 426,000 kilometers. So we already figured out what was wrong with this thing. It came in, long story short, it came in for a no start, or basically a customer said that he was driving it, it died on him, wouldn't restart back up again. But I started it up and then it drove fine. I drove it I drove it quite a while, and I parked it here and I went to restart it and it won't restart. And then it just cranks, it kind of sputters and it wouldn't start. So we found that it wasn't getting any fuel, and then we checked that the main relay basically it wasn't sending power to the fuel pump, but there was no power coming out of this leg when we ground it. Where did we ground it? We ground it here because it's PCM controlled, and there was no power coming out of that, and it needed a main relay. But then we waited for a little bit, and then it cooled down, and then this thing started working again. So that was an intermittent issue, but the real main issue is this leg, which the PCM's on, is not grounding that main relay, and that's the main issue. But anyways, back to the review video. So we got it hooked it up. It's got a screen. It's got a little voltmeter attached to it, so you can see what the voltage is. It's got a pretty long wire, so it actually reaches all the way to the back of this van here. Yeah, I already got the back seat and the fuel pump at the connector, 2-pin. I was actually using a light bulb for this to make sure there's, power and grounds there, but it wasn't getting any power. So yeah, anyways, so this thing can reach all the way to the back. It's not too long, but it's long enough. And then, yeah, I just basically line diagram number 4 and 5, which is your main powers and ground for the fuel pump itself. But I just stick a light bulb in there. But simple check. I usually like using light bulb. Costs literally nothing, but I'll touch it, make sure it works, and it does. See? But yeah, the only thing I don't see is, in case you short this thing out, there's no circuit breaker to reset. So I don't know how that works. Maybe I should just directly to power ground it and see if it starts smoking or something. But yeah, there's no circuit protection on this thing. Please read user manual before use. But yeah, anyways, that's the little power probe. Also be careful where you're putting power and where you're grounding, especially on PCMs. That's why I always use a light bulb or a regular test light, incandescent test light, when you're checking powers and ground. Just don't be sending power directly to something that you don't know what it's going to, because you might burn something out. So anyways, just a quick tool review. I might as well try just grounding the thing out right at the battery, see if it'll protect itself from smoking. I should try that, because you should really have something protecting a circuit, especially when you're so great power. Oh yeah, it does. Oh, it just turns itself right off. So you can't really short it right out, so it does protect itself. What if I go ground, send power to it? Yeah, it won't allow me to do it. So, and then to double check, make sure that this tool is still working, I'll grab my light bulb. Yeah, still works. So, yeah, just a quick tool review. Cheap power probes. Oh, actually, circuit tester. Power probe's a brand. And that's it. Yeah, sorry guys, it's not much of a tool review video because I hardly ever use a power probe. I just use a light bulb or a incandescent test light. Because all I need is just, I can ground the circuit with the test light, and if I want to check for power on that circuit, I just basically use the test light. I don't know, I don't know how to explain it better than that, but it's not often I use a power probe. So like how I check this main relay down here, I just use my test light and I ground the circuit, so that way I know there's power. Like everything has power going into it with my test light, and then I just ground the circuit that controls the fuel pump on this side, and then I have my light bulb hooked up to the connector, and it lights up. So I know my issue is that main relay. But anyways, yeah, it's not often I use a power probe, or in this case a circuit tester. But anyways, if you guys want one, I'll just put one. I'll put the link down in the description for you guys to go check it out. But yeah, this is just me. I just use my light bulbs. And if it's also the safer way, so you're not putting power to places that you don't know where it's going, and then you could short out something, or fry a driver or something in the PCM. So yeah, if you want one, sure, I'll put a link in the description. Here, just to get you shot what this thing has. 426. Anyways, if you guys want one, I'll put the link down in the description, and you can try it out for yourself. But it's gonna go into my toolbox.